Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pat Carosa YouTube channel. This is me, Pat Carosa, and I am a huge Buffalo Bills fan who has season tickets to their games, so I go to a lot of the games, and we've been going to the games since 1999, so I know what I'm talking about with the Bills. And honestly, if you talk to anyone, the most of the words that are coming out of my mouth are the Bills, and what are they going to do that coming Sunday? So, please like, comment, and subscribe so you can get awesome Bills content throughout the year. So, we are going into week 14 of the NFL season. There are only 5 games left in the NFL schedule, and for the Bills, they're in first place not only in the AFC East, but in the AFC after the Bengals and the Bengals won and the Chiefs lost last week and the Dolphins lost as well. So, the Bills are going into this stretch that if they win the rest of their games, they're the number 1 seed. They have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And I think if they have home field advantage, they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl because they do well at home. And in the Bills' history, at that stadium, at Highmark, Rich, Ralph Wilson Stadium, whatever you want to call it, they only have one playoff loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars of all teams in I believe, the 1996 season. So, if the Bills are at home in the playoffs throughout, I think they go to the Super Bowl because no one is beating the Bills in Buffalo. I just don't see it. So, but we are focused on this week, of course, and they're playing the New York Jets, the new look New York Jets with a new quarterback. The last time we saw them, the Bills and the Jets together, obviously the Jets won. And Josh Allen made a lot of mistakes, and the Jets defense made a lot of havoc on the Bills offensive line and Josh Allen. And the Bills couldn't stop the run in that game, if you can remember. So, it was one of those games where the Bills needed one touchdown really to win the game, and they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. So the Bills were flying high, 6-1, and obviously they went on a 2-game losing streak. So but now the Bills are 9-3, first place in the AFC, and flying high again. So, what do I think about this game? Let's look at offense first. I think Josh Allen will have another good game. Will he have 463 yards? Probably not, because they're playing the Jets defense. The Jets defense is still very, very good. They limited the Minnesota offense. I know that the Vikings won, but if you look at offensively, they didn't do that bad against the Vikings. They held Justin Jefferson to under 100 yards and 1 touchdown, and they didn't really let a lot of big plays hurt them last game. So their defense is really good. Their defensive line is great. And their secondary is amazing. Sauce Gardner and Reed are amazing, and the Bills have to be up to the task. They have to bring their A game to beat the Jets defense, and I think they will. I truly do. They're playing at home. I think it's much different than in week 11 in the Meadowlands. I think Josh Allen will continue to push the ball down the field, and Stephon Diggs will continue to do well. That duo is really, really, really doing well right now. And really, if the Bills can just sprinkle in the run game like they did the previous 2 or 3 games, I think that just helps the Bills' offense become more dynamic. I like what I have seen from James Cook. He looks a lot more explosive right now, a lot more confident in his cuts and where he's supposed to be. And Devin Singletary is really scoring touchdowns right now. He's getting on that hot streak that he was on last year. He has like 4 or 5 touchdowns in the last maybe 4 games. So, I think overall, the Bills are coming together offensively at the right time. And if the Bills can score at least 20 to 23 points in this game, I think they win. Because on the other side, defense versus offense, Bills defense versus offense, I think it's going to be hard for the Bills to push the ball down the field. When you're talking about the Bills' defense, you can't talk about it without the loss of Von Miller. I think that's a big, big loss for the Bills and just their psyche of it all. They need that one big play, and usually Von Miller makes that big play, and he has made a lot of big plays this year. And now the Bills are going to be without him for the rest of the year, and that's really going to hurt. But I don't think it's going to kill the defense, and it didn't against the Patriots. They got a lot of pressure on Mac Jones. They really held down the run well, and overall the defense looked really good. And I think the defense can can do the job right now. Obviously, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, I think they're coming into their own, especially Greg Rousseau. He is really um, thriving, especially under the tutelage of Von Miller, and he definitely looks better this year. And in the last couple of games, he had a great game last game. He really did. So, if Greg Rousseau and AJ Epinesa, even Boogie Basham, the Bills have a really good defensive line. So, I think the Bills will do the same thing. Create pressure, blitz, but their secondary is also better than in the last game, than in the last Jets game. Jordan Porter is back. Trey White is back, and he has looked good. And he'll just keep getting better and better as the games go along. And Matt Milano, that's a big one. Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds are back healthy in this game. So I think that's going to just make a big difference. And I know they have a new quarterback in place for the Jets, Mike White, and he's okay. He really is. Yes, he threw for over 300 yards the previous couple of games, but for me, 300 yards is a very deceiving stat because there are times when you go over 300 yards and you're the hero. You look really good doing it. But then there's other times where you throw for 300 yards and you're trailing the entire game and you're trying to catch up. And that's really what happened to the Jets last game is that Mike White was trying to catch up. And he really did move the ball well. He made a lot of good throws. There's a lot of good skill players on that Jets team. Garrett Wilson is really, really doing well with Mike White, and among others, Elijah Moore is coming along. But it all depends on Mike White, and the Jets offense was okay. Obviously, they had a lot of field goals in last games, and you would want as a Jets fan to turn those field goals into touchdowns, and I just don't see the Bills doing that this week. Not with the Bills healthy and doing well. So I think overall, the Bills will cruise to a victory in this game. I think they will, and the Bills will be set up for a primetime matchup against the Miami Dolphins for the division lead. So we'll see. It's going to be a ruckus atmosphere at Highmark Stadium, so it should be exciting. So that is it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and go Bills.